What is up? Today we're doing What If Civilization Started Over. It's inspired by Adis Pro. Bet you guys could guess that. I know I've been watching Adis Pro a lot. Series is so good, might as well do it for myself. Because I'm really into mapping, you know. So, I'm gonna tag Adis Pro in the video. Big shout out to him. Let's get started. So, we're gonna have our country start over here in Mesopotamia. And it's gonna be the red country, because red is normally what we use to start in these things. So, I have the red country, and basically at the end of every episode I'll update like some of the stuff, and please leave suggestions in the comments because I'm reading the comments. Like country names, because I'm not gonna come up with the names of these countries. So first things first, they're gonna send some explorers out here, basically, and they're gonna find the coast, and they're gonna be like, oh nice coast, what's this, an ocean? Pretty cool. Huh? Yeah, they think so. And so, this country is just like now being established, and so once they get more land here, they're gonna establish their capital there. And so, there's also gonna be some people down here who are telling them to go south. So they're gonna start kind of going south, seeing if they can find anything useful. Which they aren't yet, but you know, gotta keep going. And yeah, so they're gonna expand here, basically just making their cities bigger, getting more land on the coast. What a civilization probably back then, or in my idea, would do. And sorry about that it's so laggy, you know. That looks pretty good, you know, not like the best looking borders right now. But that's also because the country just kind of started. So they're going to move up north here too a little bit. So back to those people who said to go down south. They're going to go down south and they're going to meet up with the Red Sea. Now they're like, another sea? Wow. Maybe these seas are connected right here. I mean, they know the Sinai Peninsula exists, probably. But, and like Israel, but not Egypt. They haven't found Africa yet. They're just gonna move they're gonna move their borders this way into Israel. Also, you know, they went kind of to the, what's it called, the west, and down south there's gonna be some people who want to go north and east, so yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of that way. And I'll add their capital in a minute. Just want them to expand a bit more over here before I add it. Because this land, you know, this land is really nice, really fertile, good for farming. So, my map, well, what I'm using for my thing has a really nice tool to create stars. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for capitals. So just know that the star is the capital. It'll really help during wars, but there's probably not going to be a lot of wars. And like this, there's probably going to be no wars in this episode. But this country is going to kind of slowly expand. I mean, the people here are pretty chill with what already is the world. Another thing that's going to happen, major city. They're going to have a lot of people living down here that's basically a major city. I mean, like, major cities probably wouldn't exist, like, really be a thing. But, this is my thing, so I get to choose what happens. So they're going to continue going this way. Kinda. I don't really know exactly where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers are, but just say following that. Even if they're not really. And there's going to be some people who are saying, go up north. And they're going to be like, no, we're going east right now. So there's gonna be some people. I'm gonna say gonna leave and go up north and then establish their own country. This is gonna be the blue team, or if you guys come up with a name in the comments, that's what they'll be called. And it's not like you need to have the top comment. I'll probably read through a lot of them. So I'll just choose whichever one I think is the best. Like, if there's a name that just sucks, then, I don't want to use that. So they're eventually going to find, like, where the Turkey has their little part down into Syria. They're going to find that area, and they're going to connect up to it. Now, a revolt probably, like, wouldn't happen. I mean, like, this is kind of unrealistic, because they're all chill with each other. I mean, like, but it is kind of like, what was the governments back then? It wasn't a monarchy, it was just like, what was it? Not aristocrats yet. I mean, he was basically just like the creator of the country and then like his son, but it's not really like a king monarchy, revolutionary. And it's not a constitutional monarchy either. Revolutionary, I don't know why I said that. I was gonna call it a revolutionary monarchy. It's kind of dumb. They're also gonna probably send some scouts out here and find this lake, which they're gonna completely encircle. And this is gonna be what their borders are gonna look like. So, and the red team doesn't know that they exist. I mean, like, yeah. Their known world, I'll show, like, what they know by the end of the episode. And I'll try and do that for every episode. Speaking of episodes, I'll try and do once a week. Probably not gonna happen, knowing me. But there's gonna be some people that they send south, just because they want to maybe engage in trade. I'm not sure if trade's, like, a really big part of these countries right now. Probably not, because they don't even know that each other exists. Well, the blue team knows that the red team exists. The red team doesn't know that they exist. But they're gonna go south here and try and meet up with the red team. And they're also gonna expand. Let me add their capital in here in the meantime. So over here in this kind of like where Turkey has their little dip down into Syria, what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I mean, now all that really separates them is like modern day Lebanon. But the red team isn't really focused up north. In fact, they're kind of like against going up north. And so they're gonna basically because they know that the Sinai Peninsula exists, so they're basically just gonna take all this land. So let me use the fill tool to get that look nice and good. And they're gonna also send some more people east. Eventually, you're gonna find whatever the sea is called, the Arab Sea. I don't know. I'm not a geography nerd in that way. That I know what all these seas are called. I mean, of course I know, like, that's the Mediterranean, but I've also been here, so, that kind of helps. So, they're gonna get all this land, I mean, it's not hard for them to get land. So they're also gonna get some more of that. And they're gonna push kind of south down here into Saudi Arabia, right? And I don't think Jordan owns this, because Jordan only has like that 8-mile strip between Israel and Saudi Arabia, right? Or is that Israel with the 8-mile strip? I don't know, one of them has a strip of like land touching this little part of the Red Sea. Yeah, I mean, the big city that they have is basically Eilat, Israel. And their capital, I don't know, a modern day. I don't remember the city's name. But eventually the red team's gonna do some expanding up north, and some dude from the red team is gonna see some dude from the blue team. They're gonna be like, hey, what are you doing there? And so eventually these guys are pretty much just gonna unite up. Well, not like unite up into one country, but they're gonna, like they're gonna touch. And the red team's gonna be like, who are you? And the blue team's gonna be like, you remember us? We're the people who wanted to go north. We went north. And this is what it looks like now. And this is what our maps look like. This is what we know exists. You're welcome. Hopefully we can have friendly relations. Yeah, not really. They're not gonna get into a war, but they're just not gonna have like friendly relations. And there's gonna be some people who wanna go north even more. And they're gonna be scouts, so they're gonna like trust them. Not just like the hypothetical people that were down here in the red country. They weren't even scouts. They were just like, let's go north. We went west, there was stuff. We went south, there was stuff. They hadn't gone east yet, so. But still, these guys are scouts, and they saw water. So now they're touching the Black Sea. We've got a country touching the Black Sea. And maybe I could have a country pop up here in the Sinai Peninsula, but I think the red team will be able to get it, just because they're so dominant. But I'm literally just going to take back what I said. There's going to be a country here that wants to form. It's like a bunch of people who don't live in this major city, but they want to start a major city. So this is going to be the purple team. Just a small revolt down here. The red team's going to let them be independent as long as they let them get some of the northern part of the Sinai Peninsula. You guys can have the south, but we want the north. And so, yeah, let's get these borders in here. So this is our first kind of revolt. It wasn't really like in the red team country. They were outside of it. But it was like really close, and it wasn't like just people who left. So this isn't like an active war. I'm just making these borders look better, if you're wondering. Because I don't like them. And they're going to see water over here, so they're also going to send some people. So they're going to get their borders looking something like this. Dang, let me fix that. Didn't get it touching here. And I bet you can't guess where the capital is going to be. Literally, definitely not in the spot that they revolted, because they wanted to create a new major city. Why would I put it there? Yeah, and this is kind of gonna be our first trading hub. When you have cities that are next to each other but in different countries, that's what I'm gonna call a trading hub. And I could make some like special thing for trading hubs, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to. And speaking of stuff that I don't want to do, I'm gonna make the red team expand. Just kidding. I'm fine with them expanding. I don't have anything against the red team. And bro, the other day, Adis, if you haven't watched the Civilization series, episode 17, bro, crazy. He just killed the purple team just like that. The OG purple team. Not like some weird copy makeshift purple team. Okay, the red team's taken over all of Eurasia. I'm joking, bro. Just, I messed up on the coloring again. I'm really good at messing up on the coloring. But they're gonna get all that. And these countries are gonna be pretty chill. The red team and the blue team, they're gonna kind of create an agreement on what to divide the land between them. So the red team's gonna get all of this and some stuff here. Probably something like that, yeah. Looks about right. Not much is gonna happen in this first episode, so we might be nearing the end. Not like the end of the episode, but just like the end of kind of this basic like 3 countries. We might have 2 more countries pop up. I don't really know. So I'll fix that white real quick. We'll give it to the red team just because they're the stronger. They get like stuff when that. I'll give you a quick power rating. I mean, you probably already know it's the red team on top, followed by the blue team, and the purple team is the weakest. Also, the age rating, you know. The purple team is gonna do something. We're gonna have some people move up into the Nile's northern delta up here because they found the Nile. And I'm gonna have them follow the Nile for a little while, but first they need to kind of get all this land. And I won't mess up coloring it in this time. Purple team's not getting all of Africa. They're not gonna be the African Union. So something like that. I'm just gonna make this look a bit better, because that doesn't look very good, in my opinion. There, that looks better. We're gonna have the red team kind of spreading down into more of like Arabia. It looks like we could basically just have the Saudi Arabia come over here and take this. I mean, that's kind of what that border is looking like. We could have a country pop up down here, but I don't think that wouldn't be very realistic in my opinion for what's been happening. Some more scouts are gonna go from the blue team and find the Caspian Sea. I'm not gonna have them claim territory in the sea, because I'm just not trying to do that right now. And I know you guys are gonna say, like, do like ADIS Pro, make the undisflored areas gray, but I'm not using what he uses, so I kinda can't do that, if you haven't noticed. I'm using Paint 3D. It's not Paint.net, which is what I think ADIS uses, or something along the lines of that. I know I just revealed ADIS' secret to the entire world, what he uses. No, but I think he said on his Discord server on Reddit or something a couple of years ago. So, and now you don't have to comb through stuff. And there's like 2 videos out there on what he uses. So we'll have it looking something like that. Family tree of countries as the red team gave birth to the purple and the blue. You already know that. Cyprus isn't going to be discovered just because they don't really have boats yet. Speak of the devil. Isn't that what they say? But we're gonna have a major city pop up there. I don't know why I said speak of the devil. It's not really. And I'm just gonna add some little major cities through here. Have one over by this lake, and one up north here. We're not gonna have one in the Caspian Sea area. And these major cities are kind of just different for every country. I mean, like the blue team's major cities are less than the red team's major cities, and the purple team's major cities are less people than the blue team's major cities. Yeah. So we're gonna have another country come out of the red team. It's gonna be the green team. They're gonna be down south here. They're like more expansion over here. Why aren't you expanding over here? Y'all are weird. If you're not gonna do it, we will. And so, yeah. I mean, they're gonna take some land that the red team had. So they're gonna just kind of expand down. Their whole gimmick is that they're expanding along the sea. And so they're probably gonna go down here. Probably not reach Qatar yet. Just because that would make them bigger than the purple team. Actually, probably not. That would kind of be really weird. And let me add the capital in here. You already know where it's gonna be. It's gonna be where the revolt was. And so we got that. And so now the purple team gonna do some more expansion, just like along the Nile. Basically, they're expanding just because I don't like how their borders look. And if y'all want this map that I'm using, search up map of the world, no borders. And basically, if you just look for one titled blank Eurasia map, this should pop up even though it's not a blank Eurasia map. And it's really annoying because when you search up, there's a bunch of these maps with borders. And like some even with like province borders. I just think it's kind of stupid. I don't know exactly where the Nile goes through, so this might not be kind of exact. But it's gonna be something. And you know, they probably have ships that are just going through here, and maybe people are just swimming across. You know? Speaking of people swimming across, I'm gonna have some people down here who want to swim across and create their new country. This is probably a mix of people from the purple team and the red team. Creating the orange team. But, yeah, you know. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm probably gonna have the creation of the orange team a little bit more expansion and the wrap up, just telling y'all, like, standings and stuff. And what they think their world looks like. So this orange team is gonna start out pretty small just because they don't have, like, too much power. This is kind of like our first, like, actual, like, revolt, because they started their thing with the red team. The only problem is there's kind of like a desert over here, so they're not going to get a lot of this. This is going to be a lot smaller than Adis is. But the red team is still probably going to expand down south here and even more east into like Persia. Because they can't really expand this way or this way anymore. They're kind of blocked off, you know. So I'll add the capital of the orange team in a minute, but first things first, we're going to have the blue team expand even more. Because they just like expansion. They can't really do anything here. I mean, the Caucasus, yeah. We'll have the orange team get to Qatar. I mean, not the orange team, the green team get to Qatar. And, you know, they probably start a major city here. Just because it's so, like, in between water and stuff. Major cities, speaking of cities, yeah, let's get the capital city over in here. The orange team is really small, so it's kind of hard to make the capital city look good in it. We're gonna expand down the coast here a bit more too. Kind of looking like the moon, you know what I'm saying? And move up north here a bit more. Just trying to get that border looking better. And the purple team, we're gonna expand a bit more into like with the coasts up here. So they're just gonna generally expand along with getting this land. And actually, no, we'll have that happen in the next episode. This is about what the world looks like now. You know, let's just do one thing. Let's give the red team a bit of this. Just, not the purple team. What? We're giving it to the red team, you know? Just because they're the starting team, so they need to be, like, really big and a lot bigger than these other teams. Not teams, countries. I'm still calling them teams. I'm just, like, a country mapping person, so it's a lot more teams than countries, because if I want to talk by the country, I'll just say the country's name. So please come up with some names in the comments. That'd be really helpful. But this is probably what our map's gonna look like. And what they know exists. They don't know what's beyond the Caucasus. They know that the Caucasus exists. They just don't know what's beyond them. They know that there's a sea here. They know basically, like, around this. They know that this goes into sea here, but then they know there's a sea, they just don't know where it ends. And they know Qatar. And the green team has done some, looking around here. So, they know, like, generally what that looks like, just because the purple team's thinking about expanding down there. So they kind of know a bit more where the Nile is, too. And about that. So you can see a world map kind of looking like this. They don't know that Cyprus exists. So they probably think something along those lines. It's what the world looks like. And then they probably think that here eventually is just a sea that cuts through. I mean, they're gonna be right, but it's kind of far away, And they probably think that it's also like a sea around here. Like this leads into a sea. They're gonna be wrong. And I don't think they think that there's much else here. And I'm guessing they probably think there's mountains here and then a bit more and then nothing. Just kind of these two. Like that. And some stuff like that. They're a bit more right over here. They probably think this leads down somewhere here. Something like that. And something like that. They think they're just on one big island. They're wrong. But yeah. That's gonna do it for today's episode. Please leave names for these countries in the comments. If not, I guess I'll just have to come up with some on my own. Which they probably won't be that good. I'll just have like ChatGPT generate some names of countries and they'll all end in IA or land. Like IA or land. Which is gonna be bad, so that's why I want y'all to come up with names. And power standings. Red team number 1, blue team number 2, purple team number 3, green team number 4, orange team number 5. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I know I'm back after a while. It's been a while. But yeah, expect another video next week. Well, actually, don't expect another video next week, but there might be. There's always a possibility. But that's it, yeah. So, I'm gonna end the recording, bye.